Hi everyone, I'm Alan Lepofsky from Constellation Research. I'm joined today by Dr. Frankie James from General Motors Advanced Technology Division here in Silicon Valley. Frankie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, you have a really interesting job. Your division is working on ways that disruptive technologies can actually change the automotive industry. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're doing? I know you're sort of focused on not even just internal innovation, but what can external parties bring to your world?
Right, so the whole idea behind our group was to have a team that was looking at startups and other innovation that's happening in Silicon Valley and thinking about how we could use that. We were finding things related to window glass. We were finding things related to battery systems, a lot of other kinds of things. You fast forward a little bit more, and what we've started to find is that there was technologies that were looking at things like ride sharing and stuff that all of a sudden was like, wait a minute, that doesn't go on a vehicle, but it could have huge impact on the automotive industry, so let's talk about that. We think if we can look at technology trends while they're just emerging, we can think about how they might impact the industry further down the road and try to get in on that early. So we spend most of our times looking outside to see what we can do to make what we're already doing better.
So it's fun. Your whole job is to go out there and say, what's happening, how can we bring it in, and how can we apply it to what we're doing? There's both technology and business model, it sounds like. What other interesting technology things are we either seeing today, or what's coming 1, 2, 3 years from now? What should we expect?
3 years ago, actually, we started looking at virtual reality and started to say, hey, we think this is something that can have tremendous value. A lot of people think about virtual reality for customer-facing applications like dealerships. We're also looking at it for internal-facing applications in design and engineering.
So in our consumer lives, we all use our vehicles. We go back and forth to things. What are you thinking about as far as the future of employment and people and the future of work? How does your work relate back to that?
I think that there was a lot of discussion in the panel earlier where, what happens if we're in an autonomous future and suddenly you free up all this time that you would have spent driving and you can do other things with it? Do you decide to work more? Do you decide that you've got this free time back so that you can use it for that and your work doesn't feel like it's overwhelming your life? I really don't think that we know the full impact of something like autonomous driving on how you're going to do many things in your life, including how you're going to work.